She texted, "Don't wait up. Girls' night. You wouldn't belong anyway." I didn't push back. "Have fun." I opened one file we both forgot existed, made a single update. That night, her phone lit up with a subject line she didn't recognize. "I'm 39 and I've been married for 12 years. My wife and I met when I was 27. She was 25. We dated for 2 years before getting married, spent the first few years building careers, bought a house, had a kid. Our daughter just turned 8. On paper, we looked like we had it all together, the kind of couple people envy at dinner parties. But something had been off for months, maybe longer. I just didn't want to admit it. It started subtly. She became more critical of everything I did, the way I loaded the dishwasher, how I talked to our daughter, my choice of clothes. "Are you really wearing that shirt again?" You know she needs structure, not your laid-back parenting. Maybe try doing something with your hair for once. Then came the social exclusion. She started going out more frequently without me. Girls' nights became a weekly thing, sometimes twice a week. I'd ask where they were going, and she'd be vague. "Just meeting up. You wouldn't know the place." "Why does it matter?" When I suggested we do something together, she'd have an excuse. Too tired, already made plans, needed time with her friends. I felt like I was being slowly edited out of her life. Last Friday evening changed everything. I was home with our daughter, helping her with a school project about the solar system. Construction paper and glue everywhere. My wife came downstairs around 7, dressed up more than usual. Black dress I'd never seen, heels, full makeup, hair styled. "You look nice," I said, looking up from cutting out a cardboard Saturn. "Thanks." She was scrolling through her phone, didn't even glance at me. "Where are you headed?" "Girls' night. I told you this morning." "Right. Where are you going?" "That new wine bar downtown." "Why?" "Just making conversation." She finally looked at me, and her expression was annoyed. "Do you need a full itinerary?" "No, I'm just interested in what you're doing." "Well, don't be. It's my night out." She grabbed her purse, checked herself in the hallway mirror one more time. Then my phone buzzed. A text from her, even though she was standing 15 feet away. "Don't wait up. Girls' night. You wouldn't belong anyway." I stared at the message, read it twice, then looked at her. "You just texted me that I wouldn't belong?" She shrugged. "I'm being honest. My friends are different, more cultured. You'd be bored." "Cultured?" "Yeah, they actually read books. Go to museums, talk about things beyond sports and work." "I read. I took you to that art exhibit last month. Because I dragged you there, and you spent the whole time looking at your phone." That wasn't true, but I didn't argue. Something about her tone told me she wanted a fight, wanted me to give her a reason to storm out angry. I didn't give her that, just said, "Have fun." She looked almost disappointed by my response, waited a beat like she expected more, then left. I heard her car start, watched through the window as she backed out of the driveway, phone already pressed to her ear before she even reached the street. My daughter asked me something about Jupiter's moons, and I refocused on the project. We worked on it for another hour, then I made her dinner, got her ready for bed, read her a story. Normal Friday night routine. But my mind kept circling back to that text. "You wouldn't belong anyway." The casual cruelty of it, the dismissiveness. After my daughter fell asleep, I sat in my office staring at my laptop. Something was wrong. Had been wrong. I just hadn't wanted to see it clearly. Then I remembered something. A file we both forgot existed. Update 1. About 5 years ago, when we were planning to buy our house, we opened a shared cloud storage account for all our financial documents. Mortgage applications, tax returns, insurance policies. We uploaded everything there so either of us could access it if needed. After we bought the house, we stopped using it. Just forgot about it completely. I logged in for the first time in years. The password was still saved in my browser. I expected to see the same old files from 5 years ago. Mortgage documents, inspection reports, nothing current. But there were new folders, dozens of them, all created in the past 8 months. I opened the first one. Photos. Hundreds of photos I'd never seen. My wife at restaurants I didn't recognize. My wife at bars I'd never heard of. My wife with people I'd never met. And in almost every photo, the same man. Tall, well-dressed, always standing close to her. In some photos, his arm was around her waist. In others, they were holding hands. One photo showed them kissing at what looked like a rooftop bar, city lights in the background. I felt like I'd been punched in the stomach. I opened another folder, text messages, screenshots of text conversations between her and this man. Thousands of them going back 8 months. I started reading. Can't wait to see you tonight. Last night was amazing. You make me feel alive. He's so boring. I don't know how much longer I can do this. Soon, I promise. Just need to figure out the logistics. I love you. More than I've ever loved anyone. I sat there reading for 2 hours. Every message was worse than the last. They had pet names for each other, inside jokes, references to hotels they'd stayed at together, plans for a future that didn't include me. There were financial documents too, records of payments she'd been making to what looked like a lawyer, divorce consultation notes, asset division calculations. She'd been planning this for months. I felt numb, betrayed, stupid for not seeing it sooner. Then I made a single update to the shared account settings. I added a notification feature I'd never used before. From now on, every time she accessed this account, I'd get an alert. Every time she uploaded something, I'd know. Every time she viewed a file, I'd see exactly which one. That night, around 11:30, my phone buzzed with a notification. She'd just logged into the account. I watched in real time as she opened a folder labeled Weekend Plans and uploaded new photos. I opened them from my laptop. Photos from tonight. Her at that wine bar, with him, with the same man from all the other photos. They were sitting close, his hand on her thigh under the table, visible in the reflection of the window behind them. My phone buzzed with a text from her. Staying out later than planned. Don't wait up. Another notification. She'd uploaded more photos. These were taken outside on the street. Them standing by his car. Him opening the door for her. Her getting in. I waited. At 12:45, another upload. Hotel room keycard. Time stamped 30 minutes ago. I sat in the dark office, watching the evidence of my wife's affair accumulate in real time, and felt something cold settle in my chest. Not just anger, not just hurt, something calculating. Update 2. She came home at 3 in the morning. I was still awake, sitting in the living room this time, lights off, just waiting. "Jesus!" she gasped when she saw me. "You scared the hell out of me! What are you doing sitting in the dark?" Couldn't sleep. "Well, you're being creepy. This is the second time you've done this." "How was girls' night?" "Fine, good. We had fun." "Where'd you end up?" "I told you. That wine bar." "Just the wine bar? Why are you interrogating me?" "I'm not. Just asking about your night." She kicked off her heels, tossed her purse on the couch. "We went to a couple places. Lost track of time. That's why I'm late." "What places?" "I don't remember the names." "Does it matter?" "No. I guess it doesn't." She studied my face in the dim light from the hallway. "Are you okay? You're being weird." "I'm fine. Just tired." "Then go to bed." She headed for the stairs. "How's he doing?" She froze, hand on the banister, 1 foot on the first step. "What?" "The guy you've been seeing. How's he doing?" She turned slowly. "I don't know what you're talking about." "The shared cloud account. The one we set up when we bought the house. You've been uploading everything there. Photos, text messages, financial documents. I've seen all of it." Her face went white. "You've been spying on me?" "It's a shared account. We both have access. You've just been careless about what you upload there. You had no right. I had every right. It's my account too. And you've spent the last 8 months documenting your affair in excruciating detail. It's not, I can explain. Don't bother. I read the messages, all of them. Saw the photos, the hotel receipts, the consultation notes with the divorce lawyer. She sat down on the stairs, just collapsed onto them like her legs gave out. How long have you known? Since tonight, since I logged in after you left and found everything you've been hiding. Why didn't you say something sooner? I just found out a few hours ago, but I've been watching tonight. Every photo you uploaded from the wine bar, every text you sent him, the hotel key card from room 412. She put her face in her hands. Oh God. You want to tell me about it? Or should I just keep reading your messages? She was quiet for a long time. When she finally spoke, her voice was small. His name is... I don't care what his name is. How long? 8 months. How'd you meet? Through work, a conference. We got talking and you decided to blow up our marriage. It wasn't like that. What was it like? I was unhappy. For a long time. You and we've been going through the motions for years. No passion, no excitement, just routine. So you had an affair. I fell in love with someone who makes me feel alive. Someone who sees me. You barely notice I exist unless you need something. That's not true. Isn't it? When's the last time we had a real conversation? When's the last time you asked me about my day and actually listened? When's the last time you planned something for us that wasn't just another obligation? I've been here, every day, taking care of our daughter, maintaining our home, trying to keep our family together. You've been present. That's not the same as being engaged. And he's engaged? He listens. He cares about my thoughts, my feelings. He makes me laugh. We have things in common, interests, conversations that matter. How often do you see him? She hesitated. 2 or 3 times a week. And our daughter? Where does she think you are? She thinks I'm at girls' nights or work events. So you've been lying to her too. I haven't told her anything. I've just been living my life. Your life? We're your life. She's your daughter. I'm your husband, or I was, until you decided I wasn't sophisticated enough for you. Update 3. We talked until sunrise, or rather, she talked and I listened. She told me everything. How they'd met at a marketing conference 18 months ago. How they'd stayed in touch after, just as friends at first. How it had escalated 8 months ago when they'd met for dinner and ended up kissing in the parking lot. She told me how he made her feel young again. How he took her to nice restaurants and art galleries. How he knew about wine and literature and could discuss philosophy. How he made her feel seen in ways I never did. I asked her if she loved him. She said yes. I asked her if she loved me. She said she didn't know anymore. I asked her what she wanted to do now. She said she'd been planning to ask for a divorce but wanted to wait until our daughter was a bit older. Make it easier for her to understand. How much older? I asked. I don't know. Another year or 2. So, you were going to keep lying? Keep sneaking around? Keep living this double life for another year or 2 while I played the fool? I wasn't trying to hurt you. But you did. Repeatedly. Every time you lied about where you were. Every time you came home from being with him and got into bed next to me. Every time you looked our daughter in the eye and lied about girls' night. She started crying. I'm sorry. I never meant for it to go this far. How far did you mean for it to go? I don't know. I just wanted to feel happy again. The next week was tense. We barely spoke unless it was about our daughter. I moved into the guest room, started looking at apartments online, figuring out what divorce would look like financially. She kept going out, still claiming girls' nights, still seeing him. She'd stopped being careful about the cloud account, kept uploading photos and messages like I wasn't watching, or maybe she didn't care anymore. One night, about 5 days after our confrontation, I was putting our daughter to bed when she asked me why Mommy and I weren't sleeping in the same room anymore. "We're just having some grown-up disagreements," I said. "Sometimes adults need space to think." "Are you getting divorced?" My heart broke a little. "I don't know, sweetheart. Maybe. Would that be okay?" She was quiet for a moment. "Will I still see both of you?" "Every single day. No matter what happens, you'll always have both of us." "Okay." Then quieter. "Mommy's been going out a lot." "I know. She says it's girls' night, but I heard her on the phone once. She was talking to a man. She sounded happy." I didn't know what to say. Sometimes adults have friends that make them happy. Do you have friends that make you happy? I have you. You make me happy. She hugged me tight. "I love you, Daddy." "I love you too, baby." After she fell asleep, I sat in her room for a while, watching her breathe, thinking about how I was going to protect her through what was coming. Update 4. 2 weeks after I discovered everything, my wife finally told me she wanted a divorce. She sat me down one evening after our daughter was in bed and said she couldn't do this anymore. The pretending, the guilt. She needed to be honest with herself and with me. "I'm leaving," she said. "I'm moving in with him. I've already talked to a lawyer. We can work out custody. I want shared custody, 50-50. "You're moving in with him? Already?" "We've been together for 8 months. We know what we want." "Does our daughter know him?" "Not yet, but she will. He wants to meet her." "Absolutely not. Not yet. Not until this is settled. You can't keep her from him forever." "I'm not keeping her from anyone. I'm protecting her from being introduced to your affair partner before our marriage is even over." "He's not my affair partner. He's my boyfriend, and soon he'll be part of her life whether you like it or not." "We'll see what the lawyer says about that." She moved out 3 days later, packed her things while our daughter was at school, left a note for her explaining that Mommy needed her own apartment for a while but would see her all the time. Our daughter was devastated, cried herself to sleep that night while I held her, completely at a loss for what to say. The next few weeks were a blur of lawyer meetings and custody negotiations. My wife wanted 50-50 custody. I wanted primary custody with her having visitation. My lawyer said we'd likely end up somewhere in the middle. During one of the custody mediation sessions, my wife's lawyer brought up the cloud account, said I'd violated her privacy by monitoring it. My lawyer countered that it was a shared account, both parties had equal access, and she'd been voluntarily uploading evidence of her affair. The mediator suggested we settle this outside of court. Dragging all of this into public record wouldn't be good for anyone, especially not our daughter. We agreed to 60-40 custody. I'd have her during the week, my wife would have her on weekends. Child support would be minimal since we made similar incomes. Assets would be split 50-50. The divorce was finalized 4 months after our confrontation. 12 years of marriage dissolved in a courtroom in less than an hour. Update 5. My ex-wife moved in with him officially about a month after the divorce, introduced him to our daughter shortly after. Our daughter came home from her first weekend there and told me all about him. He seemed nice, she said. He had a big TV and let her pick what they watched. I smiled and nodded and felt sick inside. But as the weeks passed, I started seeing cracks in my ex's perfect new life. Our daughter would come home from weekends with stories that didn't quite add up. Mommy and her boyfriend fighting, him getting mad about her toys being left out, Mommy crying in her bedroom. About 3 months after they moved in together, my ex called me late one night. "Can we talk?" "What about?" "I think I made a mistake." "What kind of mistake?" "Moving in with him, this whole thing. It's not what I thought it would be." "What did you think it would be?" "I thought it would be exciting, passionate. But it's just different problems, different issues. He doesn't like having our daughter around. Says she's disruptive. I never realized how much of our relationship was based on sneaking around and the thrill of hiding it. And now that it's real, It's not what you wanted. I miss our life, our family. I miss you. I was quiet for a long time. I don't know what you want me to say. I want you to say we can try again, that we can fix this. You can't fix this. You destroyed it. You lied for 8 months. You planned to leave me for years while pretending everything was fine. You chose him over our family. I was confused. I made mistakes. You made choices. You chose excitement over stability. You chose him over me, over our daughter. And now that it's not working out the way you fantasized, you want to come back? That's not how this works. So that's it? You're just done? I was done the night I found those photos. I was done reading those messages where you talked about how boring I was. I was done watching you upload evidence of your affair while I sat home with our daughter. You were done with me long before I was done with you. I'm just catching up. She was crying. I'm so sorry. I know you are. But sorry doesn't undo what you did. Final update. It's been 7 months since the divorce was finalized. My ex is still with him, though from what I hear through mutual friends, it's rocky. They fight constantly. He resents the custody schedule. She resents his resentment. The fantasy they built during their affair hasn't survived the reality of an actual relationship. My daughter is adjusting. It's hard, but she's resilient. She spends weekdays with me, weekends with her mom. We've established new routines. She's in therapy, which helps. I'm in therapy too, working through the betrayal and the anger and the grief of losing what I thought my life was. I'm not dating yet, not ready, but I'm not sitting around mourning the marriage either. I've reconnected with old friends, started exercising regularly, picked up hobbies I'd abandoned, started living for myself and my daughter instead of for a relationship that was dying long before I noticed. Looking back at that Friday night when she texted me, "You wouldn't belong anyway," I realized she was accidentally telling the truth. I didn't belong in her world of deception and affairs and calculated betrayal. I belonged somewhere better, somewhere honest. That forgotten cloud account was the thread that unraveled everything. One file we both forgot existed. One notification setting that let me watch her affair in real time. Sometimes the truth finds you in the strangest places. I'm 39 years old. I'm divorced. I'm a single father navigating co-parenting with someone who threw away 12 years for an 8-month affair that's now limping along painfully. And I'm okay. Not great, not perfect, but okay. Because I'm not living in the dark anymore. Not wondering where she is or who she's with. Not reading subtle insults disguised as jokes. Not trying to be sophisticated enough or cultured enough or interesting enough for someone who stopped valuing me years ago. She said I wouldn't belong at her girls' night. She was right. Because there was no girls' night. Just lies and hotel rooms and a cloud account full of evidence she was too careless to hide properly. That night when her phone lit up with a subject line she didn't recognize, shared account activity alert, she didn't realize I'd be seeing everything she was hiding. Didn't realize that file we both forgot about would be the thing that exposed the truth. Sometimes betrayal is obvious. Sometimes it's documented in thousands of photos and messages uploaded to a shared account, because the person doing the betraying got so comfortable with lying, they forgot to cover their tracks. My ex wanted excitement and passion and culture. She got it briefly. Now she's learning what I already knew. Real life isn't sustained by excitement. It's sustained by commitment, honesty, and showing up even when it's boring. I showed up every day for 12 years. She showed up until someone more exciting came along. Now we're both living with those choices. The difference is, I can sleep at night.